Hello, my name is Elizabeth, and here is my audience for my speech. Prince once said, "The key to longevity is to learn every aspect of music that you can." There are many ways that a child could spend their time. They could go outside, they could read a book, or they could do any other activity. I would like to suggest to you today that a child spend their time by learning to play a musical instrument. There are many benefits to learning to play a musical instrument, including both short-term and long-term mental benefits, social benefits, and playing a musical instrument is not as expensive as many people believe it to be. At this point, many of you are probably thinking that this speech does not have any importance to you. Well, I would like to suggest that many of you will one day have children that you will be able to encourage to have and for them to play an activity. Well, I would like to suggest that you encourage them to play a musical instrument. Also, I always like to say that it is never too late to learn a skill. I'm sure many of you are also wondering how it is that I am able to speak about music. The first instrument that I learned to play was the piano in 2nd grade. I continued the piano until 10th grade. In 4th grade, I picked up the clarinet, which I continued until my freshman year of college. Throughout these years, I was a member of both my school's concert band and symphonic band. In addition, from 9th until 12th grade, I was in my school's marching band. And my senior year of high school, I joined my school's drumline, which is where I learned to play the bass drum. Music was an important part of my life growing up, which is why I love it so much and encourage people to play a musical instrument. Not only is playing an instrument something I enjoy, but there are many benefits to play. First, I'm going to talk about the short-term mental benefits that are associated with playing an instrument. Learning to play helps with your math ability. Reading music requires note counting. You have to be continually counting throughout your music to ensure that you do not get lost. Also, there is a time meter that is associated with each different song that determines how to count the music. If you look at a song, you can see that there are many different notes which require you to hold them for a different length of time. There are whole notes, there are half notes, there are quarter notes. All of these require you to count specifically and know how to hold each note. Needless to say, math is an important part of learning to play a musical instrument. And as a child plays a musical instrument, their math skill will improve. Another short-term mental benefit that there is that studies have shown that learning to play an instrument increases your capacity of memory. In a study done with preschoolers, 22 students were either given keyboard lessons, voice lessons, or no lessons at all. The students with the keyboard lessons improved their spatial temporal skills 34% more than the other children. What this means is that the children would have a better ability to memorize anything that was presented to them. Not only that, but the researchers said that the effects would last long term. This brings me to my next point. Learning to play a musical instrument has long-term mental benefits associated with it. As we age, often our ability to hear will decrease. Neuroscientist Nina Cross of Northwestern University in Chicago conducted a study in regards to hearing and communication. She measured the electrical activity in the auditory brainstem of 44 adults between the ages of 55 to 76. They responded to the synthesized speech syllable "da." None of these adults had played musical instruments for the past 40 years, but there were some adults in this group who had played a musical instrument between the years of 4 to 14 years. This research found that those people who had played an instrument from the years of 4 to 14 responded fastest to the syllable. What this means is that those who played an instrument were having hearing better later in life than those who didn't. The reason for this is that the musical training uses a precise connection between sound and meaning. For example, when looking at a note on a page, students will recognize that that note represents a sound. This is an example of a connection that is made throughout playing. In conclusion, this connection you learn to make will carry throughout your life and will help you with your ability to discern specific sounds such as syllables. Therefore, playing music helps you to hear better later in life. Another long-term benefit is that playing an instrument helps fight against memory loss. Earlier, we talked about how playing an instrument helps you gain the ability to memorize. Now we'll talk about how it prevents against memory loss. As you play, there are times that you need to memorize what you are playing, or that you need to play in time, and sometimes that you need to improvise as you play. All of these have been proven to prevent memory loss later in life. Mental benefits are not the only reason to learn to play an instrument as a child. There are social benefits as well. Playing a musical instrument boosts your team skills. As you progress with your skills and begin to play in the school band or orchestra, you must learn to work together. You play as a single unit. Not one person carries the entire band, but the band must work together to create a song. Every instrument is important, and learning to cooperate with the other members of the band is key into playing an instrument. Another social benefit is that it promotes your social skills. From my own personal experience, I've made plenty of friends throughout bands. Playing an instrument offers many opportunities for students to join an activity, be it band, orchestra, jazz band, marching band, drumline. There are many opportunities for students to join an organization. Signing up to play an instrument in 4th grade for me was one of the best decisions I've ever made, based on purely the social aspect alone, not considering the other benefits that were associated with it. The friends I made in band, I still talk to today, and I'm so thankful for music for bringing us together. Lastly, I would like to address a concern that many of you may have. Music is thought to be an expensive activity for your child. Well, I would like to say that the benefits outweigh the costs in this regards. Oftentimes, schools have programs that they set up that enable you to rent an instrument throughout the year. You can continue to rent this instrument throughout your years playing if you so choose. Therefore, this saves on the initial cost that is associated with playing an instrument. Speaking for a long-term benefit in terms of the cost, when I joined marching band, at the end of it, I was actually given a scholarship for college, which ended up saving money. So as you can see, there are costs that are associated with playing an instrument, yes, but I strongly believe that the benefits outweigh the cost. In conclusion, learning to play an instrument is valuable for a child to learn. There are many mental and social benefits that outweigh the expense of the activity itself. After all, Confucius once said, "Music produces a kind of pleasure which human nature cannot do without." And as a parent, why would you want to deny your child this music pleasure that playing an instrument can provide? Thank you. Are there any questions? Yes?
Why did you choose the clarinet?
When I was in elementary school, a demonstration came through and demonstrated all the different instruments, and the clarinet just spoke to me, and I was so interested in learning it, and that's how I decided to play the clarinet. Go ahead.
How many hours a day did you practice when you played the clarinet?
It all depends. Speaking from marching band perspective, well, it was probably about, I think it was in one season about 1,000+ hours of working with the instrument and being there and practicing on the field. So it depends on what activities you join. It all depends on how much time you devote to your instrument. Thank you all for listening to my speech. Have a great day.